Yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Big Four podcast. My name is Luke Spring, and I'm with the usual Brian, Andrew, and Nick. How you guys doing tonight?
Oh, great evening.
Terrific.
Oh,
Very good.
absolutely great. Celtics 111-89, absolutely routing the Raptors back in the lead for the series, looking to close it out game 6. Let's
It
go.
should be over by now, but
Well
that's all right.
said. Well said right there, Andrew.
Thank you very much.
Well
I think
said.
that's about the most I've ever spoken in one sentence on this
Very
entire
well
podcast.
How about
And as
Denver?
always,
Only one down.
yeah, they're playing well.
I thought
But
they were
yeah,
going to
Cel-
win the series. I'm surprised that they didn't win.
and as always, we are your number 2 source for all things sports. If you know, you know. Tonight, we are back to our normal scheduled podcast. If you guys haven't listened, we started our 5th quarter where we have, raw game reactions day of and other things. So if you want
Give you
to
all a
listen to
treat.
those, check those out. But tonight we got a mix of things. We got some tennis, we got some golf, we got some basketball, we got some baseball. We have everything. But
The
first,
whole shebang.
the whole shebang, the whole kit and caboodle. But first, the NFL is back. Patrick
Yeah,
Mahomes
baby.
versus Deshaun Watson on Thursday night, in Kansas City against the Texans. And then we have an array of teams and games on Sunday. The normal thing has kind of crept up on us because we usually
Yeah,
don't
to
have.
say the least. Oh, it's
Yeah, 'cause there's
crazy.
usually no NBA and NHL this late in the year.
It's
So-
training camp right now. Celtics
Yeah, I
are
know.
just starting training camp probably this week, and we're getting all hyped up for basketball coming back. Now we're like stressing out in Eastern Conference semifinal basketball games. Like, it's so weird. It's so
It's
weird.
Yeah.
a great time to be a sports fan. That's
You
all
know
I can
what?
say.
If you're a betting
think I
man,
was
if
gonna
you're,
say
if
that
you're a
in a
betting
while.
person, I'd toss a couple of bucks on Houston. I mean, we've seen the Super Bowl hangover happen to the Pats. I mean, just something to consider. And Houston took Kansas City pretty deep in the championship game last year. So
Yeah, but their number 1 receiver now is Will Fuller the 5th.
I know, but here's the thing. They signed. They have Brandon Cooks now. I mean, he's not anything
Yeah.
special.
Yeah,
but what
half
they
of his
do
head is
add, they
gone.
add
Yeah,
they
let me
add-
know what that man has done since he got absolutely wrecked
they
in the
add
Super Bowl.
He gets
they add
bopped every
David
year.
Johnson, who adds a passing game out of the backfield. So another weapon for Watson because before
David
he had
Johnson
Carlos
sucks.
Hyde, who's not much of a pass catcher himself. But David Johnson's another kind of weapon out of the backfield. I mean, kind of sucked last year, but still, I mean, we've seen the hangover.
Remember when David
one,
Johnson was like
Not a lot of fans.
the number 1 fantasy pick for 2 years in a row,
That's
and
so
now
funny.
he's
Yeah.
just
That
like
was
awful.
everything.
Well, yeah,
man,
because
that was-
he got hurt, and then everything goes south from there. So
Yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting. Like we were just talking about before, some stadiums opting to or electing to have 25% capacity. Some just going to have none. Same with college football. So, what are your thoughts on how this is going to work, especially with stadiums that are going to let people in? And we've already kind of seen this with baseball. Teams are going to be traveling to different cities, and we've had that huge outbreaks earlier in the year with the Cardinals and the Marlins, but like what's going to happen here? How can football do better?
Yeah, I don't. Go ahead, Andrew.
Personally, I think it's dumb, but I feel like a lot of teams are getting it right. Start off with no fans and then just sort of ease into it. I think starting it right off the bat could be dangerous, but that teams like Miami are going to allow fans just because they're absolute morons down there. And then teams like in college football, like Alabama, like absolute morons down there. So, I mean, they probably
Also-
don't think that COVID exists. So,
Also, teams like Miami are going to let fans in because they haven't
don't
had
have any.
money. Yeah,
Yeah.
they haven't had money in about 8 years because they haven't been relevant, so they need money.
Yeah. Everybody's saying that the Chargers will benefit from this because they've been playing in front of without fans for
Facts.
I don't know.
Well, see, I'm actually concerned for the Chargers for their sake. So when they were building the SoFi Stadium in LA the last couple of years, the Chargers were playing in what was it called? StubHub Center or whatever the soccer stadium for the Galaxy.
Yeah.
StubHub
20
Center.
Hub Center.
27,000 seat capacity. That's smaller than Fenway. They couldn't fill it. Now they're in
Wonder why Silvers
100.
wanted to get out of there.
They're in a 100,000-seat stadium now, so when there is fans, oh god,
I know. Well,
it's
that's
not gonna
tough
look good.
though. What?
There's
But
not a
people
lot
will
of
go to
Charger
the new
fans.
stadium.
I was just
People
gonna
will go to the
say
new stadium.
they're in LA now, so they're rivaling the Rams, who have been there for longer than they have now. So I don't know. Yeah, if initially they are gonna have people because again, new stadium, new team in the new city, but they're gonna have to rival with the Rams, and if the Rams
There's
are
no
better,
rival there. I
no,
don't think
no,
there's
I
really a
know
rival
rival
there.
for fans. You're not gonna be a
Oh,
like no one's a fan of the Yankees and the Mets. No one's a fan of
It's-
I don't know the
it's-
Lakers and the Clippers. Like
the thing about California, do you see how many Clippers fans are now? And if you go back, like,
that's because
I
they're
don't know,
good.
a couple years and there were no Clipper fans, right? You see all the this year. I mean, you know, having a lot of family from SoCal. I mean, I able to go there and I see a really mixed opinion on the Chargers and the Rams, and it's honestly equal. And there are a lot of people that root for both teams.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If
It's all based on who's doing better.
that's
And
what I'm
both
saying.
teams
If
kind of stunk last year.
well, if the Chargers, that's why I said it's kind of a battle because if the Chargers are bad and the Rams are good, the Chargers are not going to get any fans.
But there
to
are
go to
still
their
Chargers fans
games.
because the Chargers once, you know, they got a lot of loyal San Diego fans.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah.
gonna say the
How
same.
The
far away
Rams
is
have a
San
lot of St.
Diego
Louis
from LA?
fans. I mean, obviously that's all the way.
Hour.
San Diego's
I
not
think.
that far,
That-
right?
No,
Yeah,
it's like an
exactly.
hour. It's like an hour.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah,
about
so I
right.
feel like they can still get some of their loyal San
Mhm.
Diego fans. I
Exactly.
mean, obviously the Rams, like nobody's gonna fly out from St. Louis, Missouri.
No,
No, let's go to LA so I can watch the Rams.
but there are a lot of when the Rams were the Rams used to be in LA, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Before they went to
yeah,
St.
they went
Louis.
from
So
LA
there
to
are-
St. Louis to LA.
There are a lot of people in LA that are originally Rams fans. that,
Except those
you
are
know,
the old timers because there's no
I guess,
any newer
but
generation
the
fan is
boomers.
either a Niners fan or a whatchamacallit, Chargers fan. 'Cause they're in
Or
San
a
Diego.
2018
there are a
Rams
lot.
fan.
Well,
A
see,
relevant
they just-
topic at this point. I say
A
we
lot of
move
the people that live in the
Let
city
Nick
of Los
finish.
Angeles are Rams fans because USC is near the city, and you know that's where the Rams
Yeah.
play. So there are a lot of Rams fans.
Mhm.
Yeah,
They were there before the Chargers, so that was just kind of like a thing. People stick
Regardless
with the Rams now.
of who is a fan of who, both teams are trash. But anyways, the
Facts.
NFL is back, and we're just gonna have to see. I hope it doesn't turn out like baseball, but who knows? I would say that they're better managed, but Goodell and Manfred are kind of heading that table of morons right now. So I don't know who is better.
Swear to
but-
God, they're playing a game to see who's worse.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Manfred's in the
We'll have to
lead
see.
right now.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
for
It's not-
sure, for
Actually,
sure.
it's not even a close.
Manfred's got like a 10-shot lead going into the final round. So
But yes,
guys are
talking about speaking of
hell of a
terrible
performance from Goodell. Top that.
and speaking of baseball, Joe West is awful. I hate Joe West. So if you guys didn't
Country
hear,
Joe.
frickin' Joe West ejected Mike Rizzo, the GM of the Washington Nationals, because he was not wearing a mask in his own box with nobody within
No one within a
150
area code
yards.
of them.
In
150
the stand,
yards.
he was so far away from. He wasn't even by
How
the
do you
field.
see that? I mean, you're
No,
Joe
no,
West
so
an
this
old
is what-
fart. How
this
do you
is what
even see that?
This is what happened. He didn't have his mask on. He was yelling at the umps, which, first of all, that's why Joe West said he claimed he ejected him because he was yelling at the umps. But still, you have thousands upon thousands of people yelling at you every night when there are fans. Why can't you deal with one GM yelling at you in
We don't really know what he was
a
saying in the defense
stadium?
of Joe West. I mean,
Yeah, but still, the
yeah,
fans
we know what he's
around.
saying.
Yeah, well, fans and a GM are kind of different because the
I've
GM
seen
is
fans do
obviously associated with the team. Like fans
That
are
is
just
true.
like
That
a
is
bunch.
true.
Like the umpire thinks of fans as just a bunch of clueless people that are
Right.
yelling because something didn't go right for their team. So I feel like that's kind of why, like with a GM, obviously it's different. Like they're associated with the team; they actually know about baseball. Like how many fans, when there's a sellout, actually know a lot about baseball? Like
No one,
Right.
or especially people at Fenway. Those conversations you get around
Yeah.
Fenway are priceless. You can have someone to
Yeah.
your right talking about Dungeons and Dragons. They're just there because it's a landmark in Boston. People,
Yeah.
I'd say 60% of the people that go to Fenway don't know who the starting pitcher is that night.
yeah.
Guaranteed.
It's like going to the TD Garden for a Celtics game on a Tuesday. Like
Is Beckett pitching tonight?
Who's
Yeah, 'cause
that Martinez guy?
freaking Stephen King, the dude who writes those horror novels, is
Why aren't they
season
starting
tickets. He
Big
reads
Pappy?
at the games. He reads at the games. Like, come
Yeah.
on, bud.
No, but like I
Can't
think
put your
I think
book down for 3 hours.
I mean I'm gonna side with Joe West here. I mean at the same time, yeah, as you pointed out, I mean why don't you just toss every fan for talking smack? Because all fans yell at the umps. There's like a million umpires in the stands every game. But you know, I just think that when there's one person there, it's easy. It's obviously easy to hear. There's no one else in the building, and
you know who's talking because
you know who's talking.
no one else.
You know who's talking, and you can hear everywhere. A lot of times, you know, you just get fans like yelling nonsense, and you know, sometimes people are talking over. You can't really, you know, exactly what he's saying. You know who he's saying it to, and it's just that much worse when you're the only person there. It's like talking. It's like me talking. It's like me talking smack to you right to your face, rather than you playing in a basketball game and me in the stands yelling at you.
Mm-hmm.
Completely different.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
I'll always be a Joe West fan simply because of
he's
his
just a good guy. I think he's a good guy.
funny guy, Country Joe. But the call he made in game 3 or 4.
It's the Red Sox
4.
thing.
Yeah, when he said the obstruction. Beautiful thing. And the fan reaching into Mookie's glove. He made that call.
Yeah.
Love you, Joe. Forever
Foregone
will.
home run.
Well, that's an easy call.
Easy can see. Then
that
there's
was
the
an easy
hanging.
call. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people say once your glove reaches into the stands, it's fair game for anybody. But hey, Mookie was.
You know what I should do?
Balls
You know what?
going in his glove.
You know when there's actual fans come back, outfielders, no doubt 450 home runs just jump in the stands, get hit, and call obstruction. They're gonna call that. Balls, 100 feet over their heads.
I hope not. But on the topic of baseball, one team that we know sucks is the Red Sox, but that was expected. Another team.
Embrace the tank.
I can't say I really
embrace the
expected
tank.
this bad. I can't say I expected
I
this
expected
bad.
it. I expected it.
You know, I was very
No
optimistic
sale.
at the start of the year. I
think we were all
I was very
optimistic after
though.
opening day. We were like,
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking,
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking
no.
if JD,
They're not going to win at all.
I was
but,
thinking if
like,
JD, Xander, I didn't think the pitching could
They're
get to this, to
unstoppable.
stoop down to this level.
I will
I didn't
tell you
think that
this.
their pitching could get down to this level.
Martin Perez
I
is a
thought
goat.
JD, Xander, and Rafael got hot at the same time.
I will
didn't think
tell
the
you that I
pitching would be this
didn't
pitiful.
expect Benny to be this bad. I will tell you.
oh, my God. I remember when I said that he has potential to be an all-star, and good Lord, was I wrong. Oh,
The
my
guy was
goodness
battling
gracious.
a rib injury. Give him a break.
I was thinking, yeah, Matthew Stafford played all of 2018 with a broken back.
Yeah, and he still
And
probably
what did he
played
get, 3 and
mediocre to
13?
below
Still
average.
threw like what 35, 4,000 yards. You know, I think that I didn't think that the pitching for the Red Sox would be this bad. I mean, I didn't. These are major league pitchers. I didn't think they'd be this terrible. I didn't think that. So as me thinking, all right, the pitching probably give up 5, 6, 7 runs a game. If JD, Rafi, and X all get hot at the same different story. I mean, they could score. We're talking like opening day, right? If they can beat the beatable teams like Baltimore and Toronto, I thought they could have snuck into a wild card spot and maybe made something happen. I don't know. But,
Anyways, as I was saying,
wrong.
we kind of expected that the Red Sox weren't going to make the playoffs or weren't going to be that good. A team that we did expect to, and everyone expected to, like, make the World Series and win the World Series, the New York Yankees, aren't in the playoffs right now. Or are they? Are they a wild card team? I don't even know if
They
they're
are.
a wild card
They
team.
are
They
the last team in the playoffs at the moment, but if they
Last
lose
team in
tonight,
the playoffs.
they will not be in the playoffs if they lose tonight.
They're terrible.
They're 21 and 19. They're about to be 21 and 20. They're
Love to see it.
freaking
Love to see it.
awful. They're a
I
terrible
don't
baseball team.
understand it.
They're bad.
I don't understand.
They're all hurt.
All right, so
their
that's
defense,
all right.
and
That's what I was just gonna say. They
a
are all
lot-
hurt.
A lot of their guys are hurt, except last year they still won 100 some odd games because all their guys got hurt,
Their depth.
except the bums of last year who were turned into Gio Urshela and Newhart, all those clowns, Clint Frazier,
What's
who
it? Oh,
were
yeah,
good
Clint
last year,
Frazier, yeah.
right now suck because
Yeah.
they all suck in the first place. Last
Yeah.
year they just played good. But
They just popped off.
in reality, they suck.
Like Nunez.
So the Yankees suck. And Garrett Cole, he sucks. Beautiful thing.
I mean, he has.
Yeah.
I mean, he has a sub. He has like a 3.4, 3.5 ERA. He's struck out.
Guy
a fair
gives
amount
up
of
more
batters.
bombs than freaking Rick Porcello
Yeah,
gives up.
I mean, he's not pitching to Garrett Cole level, but we tell you what, those numbers on the Red Sox.
Martin
You put
Perez
a
is
pitcher
getting to
that
level.
puts up that kind of number on the Red Sox. I mean, being a Red Sox fan, having to look at 5.9 ERA, 7.4,
No. This season is
15.5
irrelevant. This season
on
doesn't
freaking
matter.
having to look at those stats every day and then seeing a 3.41 ERA for Garrett Cole looks really good after having to see these stats every single day.
That's irrelevant
5
this
to
season.
10. Nick Pivota's pitiful 15 ERA. Having to look at
Triggs
those,
or whatever his first name is.
having to look at those guys every day and then seeing a 3.4 ERA, it looks really good. After I look back at 3.4, then look at the team ERA of like 8, and then I look back at the 3.4 ERA. I'm like, looks really good.
Yeah. Like we talk about hospitals being swamped for COVID. How about hospitals being swamped because the Yankees can't stay healthy?
Dude,
I
their
swear
training staff.
Yeah.
they have their own personalized hospital beds at this point because they're in there
It's
every
pathetic.
other week.
It's hilarious. They're like Stanton and Judge and Sanchez, all those clowns. They don't like
All right,
break
Sanchez
bones or
sucks
stuff like that.
anyways, though.
He sucks. They get like muscle strains and stuff from swinging too hard or whatever. These guys must never stretch. Must have like the worst like physical any kind of trainer, anything. It's sad. I mean, I don't feel
Oh,
bad
they
for them
must be.
because
They must be stiff all the time.
It's because with them it's 450 or bust. That's their mentality when they're up at
that's
the plate.
facts.
It's 450 or
facts.
bust. It's hitting those retired numbers in center or bust. That's all they're
The other
thinking
day,
about.
the other day they had 6 guys in the starting lineup who were hitting 200 or lower.
Yeah, bro. Giancarlo Stanton probably he gets all sore. He's probably benching like 650. Just doesn't stretch after. All
That's
tight.
why he's taking
Boom.
steroids.
Hold.
He wouldn't be that big if those were his actual muscles, and he wouldn't be pulling stuff. He's definitely taking steroids.
That's facts. That's facts.
Either that or he just doesn't stretch.
He
Or he
sucks.
just
anyways.
doesn't
It's
stretch.
not. I'm not. Whatever. He sucks. But Sox, we got to embrace the tank. You know they're looking
Cool,
good.
man.
2 straight wins against the Blue Jays. We can't have it. We can't
No.
have a walk
We
off
need
ground ball to third
Pittsburgh.
base.
Pittsburgh needs to lose.
Pittsburgh-
They're terrible.
Let's not talk about Pittsburgh right now. We got to talk about Texas. Texas is
Really?
3-17 since Tatis hit the grand slam. They
Well,
are now
Texas,
in last place.
Or not
Texas-
Texas.
the
Texas
Sox-
is in last.
Yeah, the Sox are tied with Texas and Kansas City, and then Pittsburgh is a half game ahead. So there's 3 teams tied with a winning percentage of .33. So we just got to keep losing. We got to embrace it. We have a slightly difficult schedule coming up. I mean, I guess every game when you're last in the league, I guess every game is technically a difficult game. But we got Philly, and they're surging. Beautiful 4-game set at Tampa. We got to love it. Beautiful thing for the
Yes.
Sox. That is exactly what they need. Then you stay in Florida. You go to play the Marlins, who I guess are a competent baseball team, and then you get to play the Yankees, who we honestly could beat, but hopefully we don't.
Yeah.
And then you got Atlanta on the road. Like they got a tough to end the year. You have Philly, Tampa, Miami, New York, Baltimore, and Atlanta. They'll be lucky to win 3 games.
Well, you know
Love
what
to
needs to
see
happen
it.
right. You know
Beautiful
what
thing.
needs to happen right now? We need
my
Yaro
prediction-
Munoz to be hit by a bus right now. That's what we
He
need.
kind of did. He got a base hit and threw his bat on the ground, and he like killed himself with it because it like bounced back and hit him. Like the guy wouldn't let go of his bat, so now he's
Like
hurt.
we
Beautiful
need
thing. Who is-
Wally to drive
where
a
did
bus in the middle of the game and run him over, so we suck
Where did
even
he
more
come
because
from?
he's actually
his little
St. Louis.
ground
He's
ball-
the pinch hitter. He's his first position
I know
on
but who
Baseball
is that?
Reference is
Where-
shortstop,
so
and then
is-
his second
is
is
he-
pinch hitter.
Is he like our Luke Voigt? Like Luke Voigt went to the Yankees from St. Louis and turned into a good player. Gyro.
I
I think it's
don't know.
Gyro.
Gyro ball.
Yeah,
The
but
Greek
whatever.
sandwich.
But my prediction at the beginning of the season is either the Sox. I'll find the quote. Or I said the Sox are either going to be so insanely good that we have no idea how it's happening. They're going to go 42-18, or they're going to suck and go 18-42. No in between. They're going to go 18-42. This is
Yeah,
going to be
no
a
way
beautiful
they
thing.
get to 20 wins.
No, not a
No way.
chance. Not a chance. They'll maybe win one against Miami, maybe one against New York, maybe one against Baltimore. That's
Also-
3, and they might still one in between. There's the 4. They're 8.
I looked at the standings the other day, and Houston just is now second in the AL West. I'm like, where'd that
Yeah, I
come
don't
from?
know where
Weren't
that
they clown bags of the week a couple weeks ago? And now they're second in the AL West.
So that was like a month ago. We named them Clown Bag of the Week, and then they proceeded to go on, I believe, a 12-game winning streak. So
Yeah.
not our best take.
We're
but they
Charles
still suck.
Barkley.
Altuve still blows. So
Although Chuck did redeem himself because he picked the Celtics tonight and they blew him
and
out.
he
But usually
he
he's bad.
guaranteed it, and I was shaking when he said that.
I
was
know.
like,
That's
don't
why I
do it.
texted you
Don't
guys.
do it
the
to
Celtics,
me.
the Celtics lost because Chuck guaranteed a Celtics win. But
Yeah.
it turned out to be fine. It's okay.
Uh,
It's okay. But yeah, that was majestic tonight. But
Houston still
anyways,
sucks. They're 21-19. They're not good. Like they still suck.
yeah, that is true.
21-19 right now. I'd kill to have 20 wins.
I wouldn't. I want the
No.
first pick. First pick.
Altuve's hitting
The first
224.
pick.
The guy
You
freaking
wouldn't be
blows
thinking about
chunks.
first
He has
pick if they
3
had 20
homers.
wins. You'd be thinking about making the playoffs. You wouldn't be thinking about having the first pick.
No,
playoffs.
I'd
Okay,
rather
okay,
have the first pick
what's-
than get bounced in the first round.
Yeah. Okay. What's better? Getting the first pick, Kuma, or
Maraca.
you are at risk of losing and
I want to
being
watch winning
out
baseball.
of the
I don't want to watch
playoffs.
them lose every game. It's just
This is
depressing.
16
crazy
season.
about it.
This season's irrelevant.
It's
Then
so
why don't you go?
hard to
Then
worry
why
about it
don't you
because
go
I'm a
watch
big Red
Oakland
Sox
baseball?
fan.
Yeah,
What?
go tune into
Why don't you go
Oakland
watch Oakland baseball? Go ahead.
I'm
Or-
I'm an
Tampa.
A's fan.
or
I was actually
Tampa.
Raiders.
Okay, well,
I'm an A's fan.
you're from
Tampa.
I'm a Red Sox
you got
fan.
family. You got family from LA. Root for
Or
the Dodgers.
Yeah, the Dodgers. Go Dodgers.
No, I'm not rooting for the
Mookie is
Dodgers. I hate the
looking awesome.
Dodgers. Dodgers
Luke
fans are
is freaking
terrible.
insane.
Dodgers
'Cause
fans
they
are
don't
Cowboys
have real
fans,
fans.
like you said, Andrew. Air Force Ones, cargo shorts down
Oh,
on their
believe me.
knees, snapbacks.
Brian, the
That's
row in
that's
front
a
of
Dodgers
us
fan.
at
It's also
the
a
World
Cowboys
Series
fan.
game.
Adidas jerseys.
also-
Those
So
guys.
It's also-
weird.
It's
Those
also a
guys.
Clippers fan. Dodgers,
They're
Cowboys,
weird.
and Clippers. That's the package right there.
Yeah.
Dodgers.
Brian
So
had-
when at the World
Go on.
Series game 1, the Dodger family bought drinks for the entire section so he wouldn't get beat up.
It was so funny.
He spent like $3,000 to the stinking beer guy walking around, and I'm like, oh my god, this poor guy. He was a loser.
Christ.
But he
You're
was
right.
exactly how you just described them, Nick.
He had pants down to his ankles.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Go to LA
Bro,
every
that's
year.
what I
man.
said.
That's all
Jean
you see.
shorts.
Bro,
They were the jean shorts. down to-
Yeah. Yo, jean short capris, Adidas jersey, snapback, and Air Force Ones. Either
I tell
black
you,
or white
man,
doesn't
the
matter.
Clippers signed LeBron. They're gonna make it all the way to the finals. That's how it sounds like.
Clippers.
I tell you, man, Kawhi Leonard's the MVP this year. I don't want to hear it.
Well, they're down by 10 right now, so
I
clearly he's
know,
not the
Denver's
MVP.
CeeDee Lamb's
Jesus
gonna win Rookie of
Christ.
the Year.
Who?
Cowboys.
CeeDee Lamb because
Oh,
they're
okay.
Cowboys fans.
Oh.
Yeah, the Cowboys.
Oh,
spent-
yeah.
the Cowboys do training camp in freaking California for the first couple weeks. Like what? It makes no sense.
Wait, why?
In Oxford, California, or whatever or whatever.
don't
it
they
is,
just
Oxford.
That's why there's so many California. That's why there's so many Cowboys fans from LA.
It's weird.
Like if you were born like the 1970s and 80s and are from LA, or if you're born in LA, you're not a Chargers fan right now. I mean, if you were born like late in the 1900s and late 1990s, the 90s, 80s, 70s, and you were from LA, you root for the Rams reluctantly. Only if your parents were Rams fans. If your parents didn't like football, or they're from somewhere else and you didn't,
You were into
root
Dungeons
for,
and Dragons,
you rooted for the Cowboys. Like
and you played Wizard 101.
that's why the Cowboys are. And if you're from LA, you're automatically considered like some kind of bandwagoner. It's just like assumed from every other state.
Well, yeah, because they have the Golden State
LA
Warriors.
fans are
and-
bandwagoners. So, because there are a million teams in LA too, and Cali. So
Mhm.
it's just how it is.
All right, moving on. We are going to our weekly stat selections, brought to you by No One Still. We want sponsors.
Presented by
so-
nobody.
Presented by nobody.
know
yet.
anybody,
By
let us know.
nobody.
Nobody
Let
yet.
Us know. Let us know, please. Love
First
a
Don't say
sponsorship.
question.
Some
We're
kind.
gonna go.
Somewhere.
We're gonna go back around. We're gonna do Nick, then me, then Brian, then Andrew, because Andrew didn't like going first anymore, even though he adamantly said that he wanted to. But it's fine. We can go back. It's all right.
Hated it.
First
I
pick.
just didn't want to sound like I was copying everybody.
Yeah.
But whatever.
First question: an MLB player this week that's going to have 2 or more games without a hit, so an offer. So we have to look for players that are going to play at least 2 games, but also suck enough to not have a hit in 2 games. So basically, anyone on the Red Sox is a good pick. But Nick, what's yours?
Trying to think of like some kind of jamoke from a random team. I don't know. Let's go with Joey Gallo.
Oh,
I know that guy.
Come on.
I know that guy can't hit for
Come
crap.
on,
Did we
bud.
all have the same pick?
Oh
Dude,
my
I literally
God.
have Joey Gallo's stats pulled
Bro,
up on my
yep.
screen right now. Are you
Yep.
kidding me? We all have
I
the
mean,
same
Joey
pick.
Gallo's no
God.
jamoke. He hit like an upper
Oh.
tanker the other day that like didn't.
you're all
like,
Joey
touch the
Gallo?
moon, but
Are we
No,
all?
I got it.
I'm gonna go Joey Gallo. I just
I wasn't
like a
going to go
home runner.
Joey Gallo.
he's a
Anyways.
barrel home run or a
Were we
strike.
I was
all
gonna
gonna go
go-
Joey Gallo?
No, I wasn't. I was going to go, I'll tell you mine. I was going to go Anthony Rendon because he's going to play. Obviously, he's their third baseman, but he's also had a down year. I mean, he's still hitting like, 290, but still it's a down year. I don't think he's going to – I think he can go over. But again, it's just luck. But still, I think
290
Rendon.
over.
That's mine, Rendon. But you two, you going to stick with Gallo, Brian?
I'll go Josh Bell. Pitcher.
This is why I wanted to go
Actually,
first. 'Cause
that's
I kind
better.
of got on the back of my head. but I
Equivalently
was-
terrible team. Another big first baseman. He's hitting 197. They both suck. They're equivalently terrible.
I like Josh Bell. He's a switch hitter. He's he's got a lot of pump.
He sucks.
I always like
Is he
watching.
a switch?
But I can watch
Yeah, he
Pirates
is.
games a lot here because
Hmm.
State College, Pennsylvania, Dead Center, Pennsylvania. I can watch Pirates and I can watch Phillies games.
Oof, that's
watch
rough.
a lot
You can
of-
watch,
I've watched
you
a
can watch
lot of
Red
Josh
Sox and you
Bell
can
and-
watch Pirates.
I can
It's not
watch
the
I
life.
can watch Phillies and Pirates. So I can watch a lot of and I can watch Eagles and Steelers. It's gonna be great.
It's
be great.
That's bad.
You know how
Andrew,
like
do you
on
have
the
one
NFL,
now?
you know how like on the NFL app there's like the watch. You can like the watch now teams in your area.
Mm-hmm.
I could watch the Eagles versus the Washington football team, and that's pretty much it. Like Eagles football team. That's what I can. It's not Pats Dolphins, which is what it normally is. No, it's Eagles football team. It's just
So this is funny. Like, so when you say like, oh, the Patriots are playing the Dolphins. Oh, blah blah blah. So do you say, oh, the Eagles are playing the football team,
The football team.
or
No,
the
you just
Eagles
say
are playing
Washington.
Washington?
You just say
Well,
Washington.
Technically, the Eagles are playing the football team.
The football
I can
team.
say, I'll say the Eagles. I'm not probably gonna say Redskins a million. I'm just gonna stick with Redskins. Like I don't even care.
Yeah.
It's
football
just,
team-
it's just force of habit.
Football team's pitiful. It's just, ugh. Seriously,
Andrew, do you have yours
it's
now?
been like what 2 months, and they still can't think
You
of a
can
name.
still go
Like,
with
you can say
Gallo.
anything. You can say the water bottles. You can say the televisions, the phone chargers. You can do whatever you
Yeah.
want. And
I'm
instead,
gonna
they're
I'm
with
gonna
football team.
stick. I'm gonna
Stick with
Joey
Gallo?
Gallo.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Next one. That took a lot of time, but it's all right. Wait, let me get to my. Okay.
I said Josh
It-
Bell, right? Yeah,
It's
Josh
like
Bell.
the
Yes, you said
Washington
Josh
football
Bell.
team has like it's like comparing to the Wash. It's like
All right, Nick. Yes.
Yep.
the one
we don't
kid in
care
school
anymore.
that has
Yep.
a 5-minute homework
Uh-huh.
assignment that he hasn't done yet.
Okay. Yep.
That's what it is.
Cool.
Okay, great. Thanks. Yep. Great. Great
It's okay, Nick.
analysis.
I like
Love
it.
to hear it. Thank you. Great. Awesome. Yeah. Great. Moving on.
Nick, you get to talk some more. What's an NBA player with 5+ turnovers in a game this week?
Ooh.
Andrew Keene.
Oh, okay.
Joke's on
Can't
you.
take it back.
I'm not starting this week.
LeBron.
LeBron, you think so?
His own
Actually,
guy, because the Lakers are gonna lose.
Remember you said
They're not
that?
gonna
Remember you said
lose,
that
but-
last series?
All right. We were just yanking your chain, kid.
No, you
Relax.
believed it though. You believed it.
Relax. Relax.
You were taking Portland after game one. You both
No.
were. You and Brian. Brian was.
Okay, but me and Brian are very different.
No, fine. Brian was. Brian was taking
See,
Portland.
Here's the thing: would I bet something of value on Portland? No. Would I bet my just pure joy on Portland to beat the Lakers? See, Yankees, Lakers, the equivalent. I hate them both. So, yeah,
I hate the Celtics.
I was rooting for Portland. I was standing up when they hit threes. Like, it was no joke. I was rooting
yeah.
for Portland. In this series, though, I hate Houston with the burning passion. I hate the Lakers with the burning passion. I want them both to lose. So,
My roommate's a
does
Rockets
that
fan. We have a
happen?
great rivalry going on. My neighbor's a Dolphins fans. That's gonna be awesome.
not
I
really,
hate the-
because there's
just
no
the
competition
way
with the
the-
Dolphins.
The way the
No, but
Rockets
Dolphins
play
fans,
bas-
they don't let go of the The undefeated season. Never let that one go.
Or the miracle against
Or the Miami
Patriots.
Miracle. Or last year their Super Bowl where they beat us in Week 17. My God, relax. They make the playoffs.
Or when
That
they're
kind of
great.
freaking screwed us
Or when
over,
their
though.
They
place
call it
kicker
their Super Bowl.
scored the touchdown.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
but that wasn't against the Patriots. So
Yeah, it doesn't matter. They
they
brag
don't really
about
care
whatever.
about that.
Anyway,
Every time I bring up 6 rings, he goes undefeated season, and all of a sudden it's like there's no equivalence.
back to the picks. I'm going with Apple turnover himself, Russell Westbrook. That man is out of control.
Apple turnover.
I'm taking Westbrook. He
You're
sucks.
taking- yeah, he's
What the
sucking.
Yeah, I was gonna go Westbrook too.
Go Westbrook then.
Who on Toronto will turn the ball over a lot?
James Harden would probably get 5+ 2 though. He would be my second pick.
Bro, if I was to
Harden?
pick somebody,
Yes,
somebody,
he had 7 last
in-
week or last game.
Dude, Davis gets like a million charging fouls.
No, he
NBA.
didn't
I
have the
was-
ball enough.
if I was to pick somebody from the Raptors Celtics series, it would be Marcus Smart because he's
Is that
just
your
a
pick?
moron with the ball.
Is there a butt coming?
Oh my God!
I'm
Quick.
gonna go Westbrook just because the Celtics can
sacks?
close out the series.
That's a good point.
Oh, by the way, when's this we know we're doing the points for the picks, but like it's like a season. Like when does it end? Like when I gotta know when it's gonna end. I gotta know how many
Whenever.
points in mind. If it's just
TBD.
ongoing,
On the new
if
year.
it's ongoing,
it
what am I
ends-
playing for?
It ends the same. You answer the same question when you ask who the Red Sox next starting pitcher is. TBD. Wow, I thought I would get a better laugh than just Brian's.
Just a quick-
Just confused. He doesn't know. His mental capacity isn't that big.
He can't.
Oh,
I
he
mean, all
got
he's
that
doing
one.
is
Good
golf.
job.
just to throw this
Yeah,
out
Nick-
because we're
Nick
talking
just
about
knows
how bad the
Driver, putt,
So-
go in the hole.
we were
That's
talking.
so wrong.
we were talking about how the Yankees
I know.
suck, and so they're up 6-2 going into the bottom of the 6th inning. They left the 6th inning trailing 12-6. They gave up 10 runs to the Toronto Blue Jays, who are looking like a real playoff team. 22-18, about to be 23-18. Yankees freaking suck.
That's like me. Top.
The Blue Jays have
bottom of-
18
That's like
losses. I thought
In the best thing about it, Adam
the Blue Jays
Ottavino,
have
one of their
18 wins.
prize
I
pitching
thought. I thought the Blue Jays are 18
No,
and 23.
they're 22-18. They're a very talented baseball team. Apparently.
Toronto.
That's like
Yes,
me. Bottom of the
Toronto.
6th against Hopkinton.
Jesus
Jesus Christ, that's awful.
Oh,
Yeah, you
they're
sucked.
kinda
I
choked this
know.
way.
Thanks. I
Um,
just said that.
Adam Ottavino, though, best thing about it, he did not record it out and gave up 6 runs.
Wow.
Gotta love it.
Anyways, we're still not done with our
Hey, at least it's
selections.
competitive.
And
And then there's
Oh,
the
and
Red
they gave up
Sox.
a grand
only
slam,
take
jeez.
like 5 minutes, but whatever.
The opposite record of the Rays.
Since the NFL is back, the first game is Thursday between the Chiefs and the Texans. Who's going to have more total touchdowns? So that's passing and rushing or receiving, but that's not going to happen. Mahomes or Watson? Parga.
Mahomes.
Okay.
The secondary for Houston sucks. They'll throw like 4 touchdown passes. That's all you need.
I'm going to go Mahomes too because, yeah, he's good at football, kind of. Not really,
Mahomes.
though. Okay.
Mahomes.
You
I
guys
mean-
seriously making me pick Watson?
No, say
You
Mahomes.
don't have to.
We know you want to pick Mahomes.
Okay, yeah.
You wanted to
Bro,
go
I've said
last.
this. No, all right, I kind of did that to myself.
Yeah.
But so, anyways,
bet.
so I've said this a million times. I'll say it again. Teams with the most consistency will succeed the most. That is the Kansas City Chiefs. They have Patrick Mahomes. They have Travis Kelce. They have all of their receivers. They have their
Tyreek?
entire offense
I'll get arrested.
there.
Yeah.
Chill. Anyway, the Texans, they have Will Fuller. They have Kenny Stills.
Brandon Cooks, David Johnson.
I'm
Brandon
talking about
Cooks.
returners, you moron.
Brandon Cooks' brain is scrambled eggs right now, and that's even generous. Man doesn't have a brain. He has concussion. He has a concussion rolling out of bed, bud. His brain is mush.
His brain is the level just above Antonio Brown.
His brain
Yeah, but
is
Antonio Brown's
half. His
filthy
brain is
receiver.
half of the
You don't need a
Worcester
brain.
Popeye
You just
staff.
gotta be able-
That's how bad his
okay.
brain
Are you
is.
done? Are you done with the stupid jokes? Because That's like what the 17th one. The 17th Brandy Cooks
Oops, that was a
stupid
Stop
brain
and Shop
jokes.
ad. What were you gonna say, Nick? That was a Stop and Shop ad.
Still catch a football.
Not
All you
if
gotta do
he's
is run
dead.
and catch it.
Not if he's
He's
dead.
fine. He's fine.
Hand-eye.
He'll live.
So
Yeah.
He passed protocol. He's
More
got to
like
have some
head
sort of
eye
brain
because his
cell.
head is mush. There, I'm done. All right. Moving on from the stat selections, that took way longer than it should have. We are moving on to our clown bag of the week.
Oh, God.
This week's clown bag of the week, the entire U.S. Open, because they disqualified Djokovic for beating a 65-year-old lady in the dentures with a tennis ball.
Wasn't it the throat?
The throat, yes. And her dentures,
tennis ball throat.
her
Wake up call.
dentures
She
popped out.
See,
No
I'm
way.
just kidding. No, they.
Okay.
that would be
I
funny.
didn't know
the
the
best,
story.
the best thing about it, the best thing about it is the delayed like collapse to the ground. It hit her, and she
looked
didn't
like
make-
Kyle
like, she-
Lowry after he got bumped in the lane.
fact. She didn't flinch for like a second or two, and then she like stumbled, and then she like crumbled down to the ground. And Djokovic is just like,
He didn't even
"Bruh."
hit that hard.
He didn't even know. It was a no luck. What a
was
snipe,
literally
by the
a-
way.
it
It's not like it was like a
literally
95
light
mile
toss
hour
off the
just
racket.
C ran to her neck.
That was a
It was like
250 no scope. Like
It was
Jesus
like a lob.
Christ.
I mean, they didn't even hit her that hard, and she went down.
Bro. Yeah, it
Well,
was
those
literally a
balls
sniper.
serves are like
soft toss.
120 miles per hour. It's
Yeah.
She
insane.
dropped.
Well, yeah, but that was nowhere close to a serve, and it's also
I
a
know.
soft little tennis ball. Like, yeah,
And he obviously didn't do it on purpose,
Oh,
and they still
relax.
disqualified him.
yeah. Clearly, it was an accident.
Number one player in the world.
Brian, were you playing
Is he?
Fortnite? You hit that. You hit that girl from the top shelf.
What?
I'm confused.
Are you okay, Nick?
I meant the old lady. You know what? No one got it.
No,
don't.
no one did get it.
No one got my joke
Got it?
about.
Because Brian's a sniper in Fortnite. You know what?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You gotta
but
explain
the
the joke.
difference
and there's
between
no joke.
I haven't played since we played in June, so you know.
I don't have
Yeah.
the app anymore.
Joke.
Yeah, it's technically an
game.
application.
That's fair.
whatever.
Close
Yeah.
application.
No one
Yeah.
cares. Ruined it. Stupid.
Novak
But-
Djokovic screwed of a title.
I don't
Federer
even
and
know. I don't
Nadal.
follow tennis, so I don't
Bro,
know if he
Federer-
would have won or
alright.
not.
He probably would have won because Federer and Nadal, who are 2 and 3, are out. So I mean,
They got bumped.
the
They got
court is wide open. No, they were out due to injury.
banged. Oh, how do you get? Actually, no, never mind. That was a
Tennis
bad
players are
question.
insane.
Bro, facts. They are probably the second best conditioned athletes behind rowers.
Or
Yeah.
NASCAR.
Facts.
No.
No, NASCAR. So, okay,
Are you
I have
not
an
joking?
argument. They're not.
Are you
They're
not
not.
crazy?
They're not. They're not
Did you
in
just say
shape.
NASCAR?
It's just
NASCAR's
NASCAR
not even
has
a
to be
sport.
the most. It has to be. No, it's a sport. It has to be the most uncomfortable sport. You're especially
yeah.
Daytona 500 in the muggy, hot Florida sun. You're in this compressed area with all that suit on plus a helmet. Has to be so uncomfortable for what?
BFD.
500
You ever
laps?
watch golf? They're playing the blazing heat. I gotta walk
Okay,
7 miles
Nick.
or
Oh,
You don't have a
they
giant
have to
sweatsuit with a
walk.
helmet in a
You have to walk
claustrophobic
7,000
area.
yards.
Let me ask
Not
you
that
this.
I've-
Let me ask you
without
this.
a bag on your
Is
back.
NASCAR in the Olympics? NASCAR the Olympics?
No, but
No,
neither is
no,
chess.
because-
I'm not-
That's a
alright.
sport.
I'm not
All right,
saying like
Nick.
I like have ever watched NASCAR. I just saw something where they like sweat out like some insane amount of body weight, and it's like really hard.
disgusting.
Yeah.
They have to put on like pounds a week and be in insane shape, or they're like pass out and die.
So have you can't have NASCAR in the Olympics. Have you ever watched Cars 2?
Facts.
Have
It
you
was a bad
seen
idea.
the Formula
get
Cars?
flamed.
Francesco Bernoulli.
What was his
Lightning
name?
McQueen. Francesco Bernoulli. Two totally
Francesco
different
Bernoulli.
cars.
They're gonna get
Francesco.
flamed
The
out.
Formula, yeah, the Formula
Sir Miles
1 car.
Axelrod is gonna put
Miles.
your
I'm
put
drinking a
your-
Brandon Cooks. Listen
He's
to this
gonna blow up
conversation.
your all-in-all gas.
yeah.
That's besides the fact,
Why are
though.
we talking cars.
Who's the no?
I'm talking
Who is
Cars
it,
too.
so
I'm turning into
it
Brandon
was
Cooks.
Sir.
Just listening to
It
this
was
conversation.
no. It was Sir Miles Axelrod. Who was the doctor? It was hold on. I have to
Dr.
look it up.
Fisher.
Oh, no.
Oh,
I'm,
the doctor? You
Doctor.
mean the
Yeah.
agent?
No.
The
That was
one with
that
the
was
monocle.
Finn
Dr. Pepper.
the
McMissile.
monocle.
Professor Zundap. That's who it was. The dude with the monocle.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
The lemon. The lemon.
The lemon.
Yeah, he's gonna go
the lemon.
and just
Why
absolutely
are we talking
destroy-
cars too?
I mean, that's a sport, cars.
one
Except they're not talking
cares.
and animated. I care. What a
Oh,
great
Cars.
trio of
It's
films.
freaking
I mean,
Cars.
Lightning
Cars
McQueen
3
is a
wasn't that good.
multiple-time Piston Cup champion.
Facts, like Bud.
World-renowned athlete.
Unbelievable.
He has as many championships as LeBron, so shut up.
Actually, he probably has more.
Oh, man, I'm
Oh, yeah.
dead.
But yeah, you know who
All
has
right,
more championships than Anthony Davis? Chick Hicks, because he has one.
Kachiga.
Yeah, he's insane.
He also has more than everyone on the Celtics. So
While we're on the topic,
Oh.
Ratatouille, great film. Love that movie. All right. Anyways, moving past that. Let's get to
we gotta cut this one out.
let's get to
We gotta restart this whole podcast.
No, bro, this is what
this is
what the
gold.
listeners
I've lost
want.
like 5 brain cells today. Actually, in the last 10 minutes.
all right. Let's move on to the
Chico.
last topic, the NBA playoffs.
God.
Oh,
Right.
let's go, Celtics.
The Celtics had a
The
nice, relaxing win
Boston
today.
I don't think
Celtics.
I
Nice,
stood up like
relaxing win.
when Jalen hit the 3 to start the game. I stood up,
Yeah.
clapped. I
Oh,
maybe clapped when
made
Wanamaker
a
hit
three.
a 3, and then and then he bricked like 2 in a row, like a minute
Yeah.
after that.
But
So
then
I was
he
like, guys,
dunked
we should be up,
on
like, 40.
whoever it was, so that was okay.
Ananobi, I
Absolutely.
believe.
Giannobi.
Oh yeah, he got his revenge.
I
Absolute.
hate
I
that
did.
man. I hate him. I hate him so much. Oh yeah, I was born to make that shot. Yeah,
What?
You're
Yeah.
like a second-year player
I'm-
or whatever.
yeah. I'm like the 7th option on my team, but in the crunch time, I'm that guy. Yeah, shut up, dude. You only shoot shots because Kyle Lowry can't hit the freaking ocean from a boat. Siakam is a one-dimensional player. Well,
He does
one
the
and a
same
half.
move. He gets
That's
in the
debatable.
post, and then he does his stupid
No,
spin
it's
move,
not
and then that's
debatable.
it.
He
Siakam
does a little
sucks.
spin move floater. That's all he
Oh,
can do. And
one-dimensional
guess what?
player. He can
Jalen Brown,
score, he can
sucks.
rim, he can shoot.
Jalen Brown absolutely
He can't
clamped
shoot. He
him up.
sucks.
He can shoot.
G League Rookie of the Year,
Yeah, well,
Tremont Waters
so
got some
can-
minutes tonight. Love to see it.
You can
Yeah,
say
he
that
came out
Giannis
front
can
rim.
shoot too.
I feel bad for all those guys. They came off the bench, haven't shot a basketball in like forever. They all were like
Yeah.
missing the rim by a mile.
Yeah. Ennis
Oh,
Cantor
it's better
finally
than-
getting in the
it's better
game.
It's better than the other night, Brian, when Dion Waiters came in and ripped it off the right side of the backboard, and it went all the way out to half court.
But yeah, what a great Celtics game. See, I wouldn't say I was worried. So you can't complain about leading by 14 at the end of a quarter in the first, because like you can't complain. But I was like, why are we not up 25? Because they easily could have put up 36, 37
yeah.
points in that quarter, and the
They
game
were
would have
getting
been
some
over.
Amazing looks.
Open,
They just couldn't
open,
cash in.
open looks. And they turned it over a couple times.
How
missed
open?
A couple lips, like
Open
very
everything.
open, like four opens.
Open, open.
They
were
were
open.
they were socially distanced
Here
and then
at a
some.
5th open.
They were open. So
Open times 6.
yeah,
You
they
know
were
who I
but
can't-
hey, you can't complain. They played well. The defense was ridiculous.
Defense
Daniel
was
Tice,
insane.
I didn't have to preach for Robert Williams to get on the floor because Daniel
Yeah.
Tice looked like a stinking
He
all-star.
stood his ground. Played very well. Brown,
Poor guy still
Tice,
can't get a call to go his
Marcus
way.
Smart. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Jeff
frickin'
Van Gundy.
Stan.
Oh, he
Stan.
never complained. Or
Stan.
Stan. Same thing.
Yeah,
They're
he
both
said he never
morons.
complains. Tice might be the one who complains about every single call, but it is what
Because
it
he
is. I
doesn't
don't care.
get any call to go his way. I feel so bad for the lad.
Yeah.
It's
The
Daniel
only
Tice.
the only people that complain more are LeBron James and Luka Doncic.
LeBron's a freaking loser. And
You
no,
know who I-
Lowry.
Lowry. That's what I was gonna
Oh,
say.
Lowry
You know
too.
who
I
I
forgot
can't
about
stand?
him.
He's
Van
Kyle
Vliet
Lowry.
and Nurse. It was on the Tatum
Oh.
3 where Van Vliet clearly hit him in the
Whacked him.
arm, and they were just like,
in front,
Do you know what?
directly
You know
in
what
front
I
of Nick
find
Nurse.
so annoying about watching basketball? The reviews. And they go to
Oh.
the monitor. Oh, he
I know we
skimmed
talked
him with
about
his
this
pinky
last
on his
week.
hand.
Once in this game,
Automatic
though.
foul.
Beautiful
3
thing.
free throws. You gotta be kidding me. And then there was another play, and I don't know who I talked this about. I mean,
it
it
was
might
in
have
the,
been
it was in the
someone here,
Heat
but I thought it
Bucks
was.
game.
I thought it was
Butler
with
got
one.
fouled. He got slapped on the left arm, and they didn't call anything, and,
Yeah.
and they called it out
I think-
on Miami.
I think it
and
was with
Bucks
one of you
lost.
guys.
Yeah.
There. I don't remember, but there was a play. I don't know what game. It was in the I forget what series it is, but player had possession of the ball. Ball was knocked out of his arm, knocked out of his hand, but it skimmed the guy's finger on the way out. Last goes out of bounds. They review it, reverse the call. It's going the other way. I'm thinking the defender calls the ball to come out.
You don't need to review that. It's ridiculous. I mean, it happened with LeBron on Christmas Day when Beverly blocked the shot and knocked the ball out. It's rolled off his fingertips, went out of bounds. They were reviewing like, oh no, it actually touched LeBron. Yeah, you didn't need to freaking review that. It's it's one of those plays where review is just it's the stupidest thing. Yeah, I was mad. He screwed the Lakers over and blah blah blah. But it happens with every other team, and I get just equally as mad. Like, give them a break. It got knocked out of bounds because the ball was hit by another player. So what? That it skimmed their pinky on the way out. No one cares.
So what I hate more,
pause to go off by the defender, cause the ball to go out of bounds. Therefore, the possession stays. It doesn't change. I mean. It's
what I hate more is
they're slowing the game. There was the Heat game. There was like the last 10 seconds.
That's what I'm saying. What I hate more was in the Heat Bucks game. Jimmy Butler drove to the basket. They had to review it to see who it was out on, and it was clearly off on Jimmy Butler. But he got blatantly fouled. But because of some stupid replay rule, they can't make the right call and call it a foul. They're just looking for whoever it went out on. So even the refs are like, oh, shoot, that was a foul. They can't call a foul because they're just looking for who it went out on. That's stupid.
Yeah. What frustrates me is the fact that, like, NBA players make mistakes, but the refs can't. Like, it's impossible for them to make
especially
a mistake.
If they have replay.
It's part of the game. It's part of the game. Like, you just have to deal with it.
Exactly. And I think, like, in the MLB, they're thinking about doing robot umpires. The game's basically robotic. Have you watched a basketball game? They go to a replay center every 5 seconds. You don't even need it. It doesn't matter. Teams challenge. They need to get rid of challenges in the NBA. Refs make bad calls, but it's part of the excitement, the human error, and it gives guys like us something to complain about, something to drown a loss, a bad loss. Oh, blame the refs. You know what? I'm fine with blaming the refs. I'm perfectly fine. It gives me a reason. It gives me an excuse to make myself feel better when the Lakers lose. I just blame the refs. Yeah, the Lakers lost. I can't take that back. Let me just blame the refs, make it feel better. The human error portion is part of the game. Review should only be allowed in football like they were before. Pass interference challenges is stupid. But regular challenges in football and scoring plays, that's fine. I don't really care much about hockey. Baseball and baseball reviews, they're actually managed pretty well. Basketball reviews they're out of hand. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And the challenge percentage success rate is like 40%. It's like it doesn't even work half the time.
So baseball is fine. Football, I mean, the pass interference thing now is awful. I hate
stupid.
That's the worst. For hockey, the only bad one is when you can challenge an offsides, you can have the puck in your zone for legit a minute. Both teams could gain possession, but if the puck never leaves your zone, you score a goal. They can go back. I think there was a play this year for the Bruins. They were in their zone for a minute and a half. Possession changed, but the team they were playing could never get it out. I guess we were offsides by a piece of paper, and the goal didn't count, and we ended up losing by 1. Like, I was like, the other team touched the puck like 40 times. Why? Like, how does that not count? It's stupid. Basketball, you can't take away, like, they have to limit it to a way where, like, the player can't just throw his arms up at you and complain enough that, like Stan Van Gundy said the other day,
too much of this by players. Too much.
If you complain enough, they'll go review it. Like, no. Like, if, like, the reason why they need review, you can't have a guy who steps out of bounds by a fraction or stuff like that. Like, at the end of a game things, like, you would never want to lose a playoff game because
that is true.
Bad, like, non-foul call or out of bounds and bounds, thing like that.
In the NBA, though, you know who I feel bad for? The stupid, the either TNT or ESPN, the guys there. I forget. I don't know anyone's names, but the replay center guys. They literally just have to stand there the entire game, and they're like, "Oh, yeah. So this play is a foul because," and they just have to stand there waiting for them to be called the entire game and just be there. I feel bad for those guys. They don't have a life. But you guys good? Got everything done?
Celtics in 6.
Celtics in 6 or 7. I don't know yet, but still, that is it. Thank you guys.
See, no, last thing, quickly. This is a perfect example of the Celtics have to play average. Like, they played good today defensively, but I feel like offensively they didn't, like, through the roof incredible. Like if they just play average to a slightly above average basketball, the 2 games this series they did that, they win by 20. Toronto's
I'm
not.
saying about
They
Boston,
just-
and I
They just
stressed
gotta
it to you guys.
if they just make a couple threes, if they just make 10 threes, if they make 10 threes tomorrow, they win the game. Or whatever for
I
Wednesday, they
stress
win
it-
the game. That's it.
I
It's over.
stress this to you guys. Like, the thing that scares me about Boston, like, yeah, I hate Boston. I don't like the Celtics at all, but I still know they're a good team, and I think they're going to beat Toronto. But the thing that scares me for the Eastern Conference Finals, I mean, God, I hate the Heat too, but God forbid they play Milwaukee. Doesn't matter. I think whoever team they play, they have to be on their A game. The Heat are riding high. The Bucks are obviously, if they, God forbid, make it to the East Finals, they'll be riding high. I think whatever team they play is going to have a lot of momentum on their hands, and
So
Boston
with the
played good
Celtics
today,
say they made it
so
to the Eastern Conference Finals.
the Celtics have played 9 games in the playoffs and have had 5 good games and 4 bad games. They got away with them twice against Philly, and they didn't get away with them against Toronto. That's what happens. Once you get past the first round and you don't have to deal with sorry Philadelphia, the teams you're going to be playing aren't going to give you those, aren't going to,
Bad games.
right, they're not going to give you those. So the Celtics need to really clean it up. They can't be playing 5 out of 9 games good and 4 games terrible. You know, like they can't do that. They're not going to get away with that anymore. So you really need to preach consistency if you're Brad Stevens. You know, you guys got to be on your A games. You can't slow down for just a second, because once you get to this point in the playoffs, you're not going to get given anything.
All good now?
Yep.
Got everything
Yeesh.
out? All right. Thank you guys for listening. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at the Big Four _podcast. Again, look out for some more 5th quarter podcast episodes later on this week. We might have some, day of reactions to games and all that stuff. So look out for those. Thank you guys for listening, and see you next time.